Welcome! Today we're going to do 2-chapter teaser with Miss Susie. That's me. We're going to use Tumblebooks, so let's head to the internet and let's go on over to our website, gravescountypubliclibrary.org. Ta-da! Made it! Whoop! We're going to click Resources. And then we're to scroll down and find Tumblebooks. Pow! Got it. Good job. Now that we're at Tumblebooks, let's find a book to read. All right, we're going to click Read Alongs. And scroll down to Advanced Readers. And let's do this one. All right. Looks like it's got an AR reading level of 4.9. Let's click it. All right. Let's read, friends. Zibby Payne and the Drama Trauma. Chapter 1. The Play's Not the Thing. Go, Zibby, go! Zibby's teammate yelled. Zibby Payne raced down the soccer field with the ball at her feet. Her class was playing room 7 during the morning recess, and the score was tied. As Zibby neared her team's goal, she drew her foot back and she kicked the ball as hard as she could. The ball arched over the defenders and landed in the left-hand corner of the net. Goal! Yelled her teammate Matthew, throwing his arms up in the air. Her team won 3-2. Zibby clasped her hands above her head in victory as the boys jogged over to congratulate her. Way to go! Said Matthew, giving Zibby a high five. Thanks, said Zibby. And just then, the warning bell rang, signaling that recess was over and class would start in 5 minutes. Zibby said goodbye to the boys and she ran off the field happy, sweaty, and with a streak of dirt above her left eyebrow. She played soccer with the boys almost every recess, and when she wasn't hanging out with her best friend, Sarah, that is. Zibby loved the game, especially when she kicked in the game-winning goal. Zibby walked over to the lunch tables next to the school library. She sat down, she changed her shoes. She and Sarah wore one of each other's shoes almost every day. But playing soccer in mismatched footwear wasn't easy, especially when Sarah liked platforms and slip-ons. Definitely not the best to run in. So Zibby brought her soccer cleats to change into for recess. Now she put back on her green high-top sneaker and one of Sarah's light blue ballet flats. As she stood up from the table, she noticed a small crowd of kids, including Sarah, gathering in front of the library door where teachers posted notices. Zibby slung her soccer cleats over her shoulder and she hurried to join Sarah. What's up? Zibby asked. Sarah reached out and rubbed the smudge off Zibby's forehead before answering. Mrs. Halpin just put up a flyer about the 6th grade play, she said. Auditions are tomorrow. I'm so excited. Murmured Zibby with a little frown, not even bothering to look at the flyer. She had been hoping that the notice was about something interesting and important, like a school soccer tournament. Not something as wimpy as a 6th grade musical that the drama teacher, Miss Halpin, put on each year. Zibby wasn't an actress. She was a tomboy, and the last thing she wanted to do was put on some frilly costume and thick, sticky stage makeup. But not Sarah. She had been looking forward to the 6th grade play since she was in kindergarten. Listen to this, she exclaimed. Miss Halpin has written her own play this year. It's called A Season of Change, and it's about an 11-year-old girl named Miranda. And she moves to a new school and finds more success than she ever dreamed of. Cool plot, she said, and she turned back to Zibby. Sounds fun, said Zibby. And she meant it. For Sarah, that is, not for her. Suddenly, Zibby was gently bumped from behind, and she whirled around, and there stood her friends, or more accurately, her sort of friends, Amber and Camille. Lately, Zibby had grown apart from them because all they ever wanted to talk about was boys. lip gloss, and 101 ways to fix their hair. The exact 3 things Zibby did not want to talk about. "What's this?" asked Amber, giving Sarah and Zibby a slight shove until she was planted right in front of the announcement with Camille in tow. And she quickly read the notice and then cooed. "I love the name Miranda. I hope I get the part. I really want to be the lead." Amber looked around. "So, is anyone else trying out?" "I am," said Sarah. "I'd like to get a small but interesting role." "I'm trying out too," said Camille. "I'd be happy with anything I get. I just want to be part of the show." "What about you, Zibby?" Amber took out a stick of groovy, grape-alicious lip gloss from the pocket of her little jean skirt and applied some to her lips. "Nope." Zibby shook her head. "I'll leave the acting to you guys." "Less competition for me, then," Amber said cheerfully. Zibby looked around and noticed most of the kids were headed back to class. She didn't want to get her first late slip because of a play she wasn't even going to be in. "We'd better move it," Zibby said. "Class is starting any minute." 4 girls sprinted to their room just as their teacher, Miss Cannon, was closing the door. After school that day, as Zibby and Sarah lingered by the lunch tables before walking home, Sarah tried to persuade Zibby to change her mind about the musical. "Are you sure you won't try out with me?" she asked Zibby. "It'd be a lot more fun if we were in the play together." "Sorry," said Zibby. "You know I'm into soccer, not drama." "But you might like it more than you think," Sarah persisted. And for a moment, Zibby had a vision of herself standing in front of a clapping, adoring audience that was showering her with flowers as she gave bow after bow. And she had to admit, the image looked pretty good. But then she snapped back to reality. Drama is for sissies, not for tomboys, she reminded herself. "Me being in a play would be like putting ketchup on ice cream," Zibby said, "or chocolate sauce on a burger." "Ugh, gross," said Sarah. She wrinkled up her nose. "See," said Zibby, "it just doesn't work." And the 2 girls started to walk out of the school gate when they were joined by Amber and Camille, who were also chatting about the play. "I hope no loser guys try out," Amber was saying. "Please let there be tons of cuties in the musical." Zibby rolled her eyes. Are boys all Amber could ever think about, she wondered. "I can't wait to get my own script with my name on it," said Sarah, jumping into the conversation. "I'm looking forward to my entire family seeing me on stage," said Camille, looking dreamily into the distance. "And think of how much fun the cast party will be," added Sarah. "Oh my gosh," Amber squealed, grabbing Sarah and Camille both by an arm and pulling them toward her. "This play is going to be the most incredible experience, the high point of our entire 6th grade year." "It sure is," exclaimed Sarah. "You know it," said Camille, and the 3 girls burst into giggles, and they began skipping down the street. "Hey, wait for me," called Zibby, hurrying to catch up with her friends, and suddenly and unexpectedly feeling very left out. Chapter 2. A Star is Born. The next day, as Zibby was sitting at the lunch table finishing her tuna fish sandwich, Amber slid in next to her. "SOS!" cried Amber. "What?" asked Zibby through a mouthful. "I need your help," she said. "Really?" asked Zibby, crumpling her sandwich wrapper. What could Amber possibly want from me, she wondered. I don't have any lip gloss or styling gel to lend her. "I need you to teach me some soccer kicks," said Amber, "for the play." "What does soccer kicks have to do with the play?" asked Zibby, perplexed. "I was talking to Miss Halpin this morning, and she told me that the main character, Miranda, is a soccer player," Amber explained. "In fact, during the play, Miranda actually scores the winning goal that clinches the national championship for her team. And since I'm going to be Miranda, I need to know how to play soccer." "But wait," Zibby said, even more confused. "The auditions haven't been held yet, have they?" "No, but..." Amber looked around us to make sure no one was listening, and she leaned in closer to Zibby. "I don't want to brag, but there's not much competition. I can sing, I can act, I can dance, and my parents say I could be the next Britney Spears. and she flipped her shiny, straight, blonde locks over her shoulder. I know Miss Halpin's going to choose me to be Miranda, so to be really authentic, I need to learn how to play soccer. Zibby said. I'm not sure she should help Amber. It was irritating how Amber just assumed she was going to get the part of Miranda. Plus, as far as Zibby knew, Amber had never even touched a soccer ball. And being the one to teach her the sport didn't exactly sound like fun. On the other hand, it might feel good to show off her soccer skills to Amber. Amber was always giving her grief of being a tomboy. So maybe now she could finally show some respect to Zibby. Okay, said Zibby. I'll do it. Right now? Asked Amber. I guess so, said Zibby. She'd been hoping to join the boys for some soccer, but she figured she could always play during afternoon recess instead. Thank you, cried Amber, giving Zibby a little hug. What's that smell? Zibby said as she sniffed the air when Amber released her. Do you like it? Asked Amber. It's my new fresh and delightful fragrance stick, a zingy blend of citrus fruits with a subtle hint of vanilla. Smells like the perfume department at Macy's, said Zibby, crinkling her nose. Once when I was walking through the store with my mom, a lady working there spritzed me with something, and I stunk like rotten fruit for a week. Amber's eyes narrowed. I do not stink, she said crossly. And then she stood up. Can we get going? She asked impatiently. No prob, said Zibby, holding her breath to try to block her sense of smell in case anything else that was fresh and delightful wafted her way. The two girls walked to the grassy area of the playground next to the soccer field, where the PE teacher left a portable container of sporting equipment. Zibby dug into and pulled out a soccer ball. It was flat like most of the school balls, which were totally trashed, but it worked well enough. And then she placed the ball on the inside of Amber's right foot. Wait a minute, she said, pointing at Amber's plum-covered ballerina flats. Are you sure you want to play in those shoes? You might get hurt. They don't give much protection. I'll be fine, Amber said, and she shook her head as if Zibby were bringing up the dumbest point anyone had ever made. So what do I do? You kick the ball using the inside of your foot, she explained. This is what we call a push pass. Zibby backed a few feet away, and then she said, now, kick the ball to me. Amber tentatively nudged the ball, and it only rolled a few inches. Harder, commanded Zibby, retrieving the ball and putting it back beside Amber's foot. Okay, said Amber, sounding irritated, and then she gave the ball a powerful thwack with her foot, so powerful, in fact, that the ball sailed way past Zibby a good 20 feet. Great kick, said Zibby, turning to admire how far the ball had rolled. Next time, though, a little softer so the ball comes to me. Zibby was so distracted by the kick, she hadn't even noticed that Amber wasn't listening to her. She'd collapsed on the grass, screaming, my toe! My big toe! It really hurts. She ripped off her shoe and examined her bare foot. And look, she shrieked, my nail polish is wrecked. And she pointed at her big toe, which, like the rest of her toes, was painted bright pink. Zibby bent down to study it, and indeed she could detect a tiny chip near the top where the polish had come off. A tragedy, said Zibby, rolling her eyes. I know, Amber said earnestly. I just had my nails done yesterday, and look, she screamed again. My pinky toe's chipped too. I need an emergency pedicure. And she reached into her skirt pocket and pulled out her tiny cell phone. I just hope Camille has some of that red hot pink left, she said, speed dialing Camille's number. Good luck, Zibby called out, leaving Amber sprawled on the field as she walked back to the lunch tables, dribbling the ball between her feet. She is so lame, thought Zibby. There's no way she'll ever be able to fake being a soccer player. Too bad someone who actually knows something about the sport isn't trying out to be Miranda. Someone who has talent and ability. Someone who deserves the role. And just then, Zibby quit dribbling the ball because she was hit with a very good idea. She should try out for Miranda. Forget yesterday's idea about the drama being only for wimps, because this was one role that for sure wasn't wimpy. And who better to play a soccer player than a real soccer player? Plus, if she got into the play, She'd make Sarah happy, and they'd get to spend tons of time together at rehearsals. And she did love to be a star on the field, so why not on the stage? The idea was seemingly more brilliant by the millisecond when someone tapped her on the shoulder, and she turned around and saw it was Matthew. "How come you're not out there?" he asked, motioning over to the soccer field where the boys were playing. The 6th grade musical is about a soccer player, and since Amber thinks she's getting the lead role, she wanted me to give her some pointers on how to play, she exclaimed. "Oh," said Matthew, sounding interested. "I wonder if any boys play soccer in the play, because I'm trying out too." Zibby's jaw dropped. "You are?" Matthew was a super jock, so she would have never dreamed he would try out. "My uncle's an actor," he said, "and my mom was a theater major in college. My family's really into drama." "I'm trying out too," she exclaimed. "I just made up my mind before you walked over." Matthew grinned. "Hey, that's great. I'm glad I have one of my soccer buddies with me. Most of the boys think acting's stupid." "They're the ones who are stupid," yelled Zibby. "No one talked about the 6th grade musical that way." Well, maybe she had yesterday, but now that she decided to try out, she turned into the play's #1 fan. Matthew glanced back at the game. "Better get going. See you at the audition, tomboy," he said, calling her by her special nickname only he used for her, and he jogged back to the other boys. Ziggy picked up the ball, and she put it back in the equipment box and ran over to the lunch benches, looking for Sarah so she could tell her the big news. But just then she remembered one tiny detail she failed to think about. She didn't have a clue about singing or acting. She'd never been at a show in her life, unless the time she played a green pea in the preschool Thanksgiving feast pageant counted. She doubted it did. She stopped running and nervously rubbed her chin. Did she even have a chance to make the musical? And even more pressing, what would the auditions be like? Hi, it's Miss Susie. Hope you guys enjoyed this 2-chapter teaser. If you'd like to find out what happens to Zibby and her friends, head on over to Tumblebooks. Finish this book up. Y'all have a great day.